Hi everybody and welcome along to the Big Quiz Night In. This is it. It's episode 150, the 150th time I have sat here or somewhere presenting a Facebook Live quiz to you all, and welcome along to the big celebration that this is. Lots of exciting things to talk about tonight in addition to the usual quiz rounds and the game show rounds at the end of the evening. Hope you're all doing well. Let's bring up the chat and see who we've got joining us this evening already saying hello. We've got Andy saying good evening, guys and girls. We have Jody saying hi to everyone. We've got Pete and Vernia saying good evening, quizzes. And what a great milestone, 150. Thank you, Chris. Thank you for tagging me there as well. Yes, it is a big milestone. We have got Sue and the Donuts, of course, saying good evening all on the 150th episode. We've got Millie and Mike saying hi to everyone too. I assume Mike, I don't know, just says hey everyone. But that's great turnout this evening. I believe there will be some others joining us as well tonight, so let us know as and when you are watching along in the comments, and if you're watching a repeat of this, as always, do make sure that you say hi and let me know. Oh, Mike is there too. Good. Yes, let me know that you are watching. It's always lovely to hear. So we have got, as I hinted at to some of you already, I am going to give you a little sneak preview of what to expect when I come back for the new phase of the Big Quiz Night In. This will be the last one though until October. I'll be taking a break to get everything ready and changed over and sorted with the new branding. More on that in a moment. But for now, let's kick off in the usual style as we go over to our kids question, and let's see what we've got in store for you today and get you some bonus points at the start of the quiz. And we have got everybody. We've got all my children.
This is Venturous.
We've got Venturous, our cat, saying hello. We've got Ruben, and we've got Abby making a comeback as well.
Yes.
So that was lovely. Venturous came to see what was going on.
Just casually throw her over his shoulder.
She's just
Okay.
flooped over his shoulder. Right, so we have got Geraldine as well saying hello. We've got Catherine and Tony saying hi to everyone as well. Everybody say hi to Ventress. Jude's there in the chat too. Fantastic. I heard a rumour. I heard that Martin and Nicola will be joining us as well. I don't know if they're watching yet. But we have got not one, but 2 questions for you tonight. Yes, 2 questions, which means there's 2 extra points up for grabs to kick off the evening. And I'll bring them up. Ruben's going to ask the first question, and Abby's going to ask the second question. And yes, look at this. Let's get quizzical. It's Martin and Nicola. They're here as well. Fantastic. And oh, look, there's my lovely wife is saying, "My babies."
Hey, Mum.
Oh, fantastic. Right, so let's bring up the first question, shall we? Ruben, you ready to ask this one, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, let's bring it up. Guess in the chat as always. A, B, C, or D. Go on, Root.
A newly discovered dinosaur has been named after which Marvel character?
Go on, read the answers as well. Is it
A. Loki, B. Thanos, C. Odin, or D. Thor?
okay? So which is it then? For the first bonus point, have a guess, everybody in the chat. A, B, C, or D. I think she's not got a clue what's going on. You might want to let her down, maybe.
He's famous.
Have a guess, everybody in the chat. A, B, C, or D for your opportunity to get yourselves a bonus point for the start of this quiz. Yeah, you're not necessarily going to know the answer, so just have a guess. It doesn't matter if you get it wrong. It's just a bit of fun, of course. Why don't you put her down?
You ready?
Careful.
Oh, bye-bye, Venturous.
Okay.
Say bye, Ventress.
Right, we have
Don't know
lots
what
of
she said.
guesses coming in then. Let's have a look what we can see here. So, Ruben, look at this. We've got Sue. Oh, hello. Let me scroll. What have we got? Sue saying A. We've got Jodie saying A. Millie saying C. Martin saying A. Geraldine saying A. Andy's also saying A. Pete's saying A. Catherine's saying D. It could be Thor. Okay, interesting. Right, let's put them out of the misery then. So Abby's going to reveal the answer, and then we will do the other way around for the next question. So the answer is, Abby?
Hey!
It is Loki. Bonus points then. So, Abby, who gets bonus points?
Is it everyone?
Everybody that says A.
Okay, Sue, Jodie, Millie.
No, not Millie.
Oh,
Missed out on that one.
Martin,
Geraldine.
Geraldine, Andy, Peter.
And that's it. Oh, scrub your answer because Jude's answered for you. No, it's too late now. We've awarded you the point anyway. It's fine. Well done. So remember that. You've got one bonus point. We're now going to... Oh, let me show you the picture as well to prove this. Here we go.
Because they have
There you
like horns.
Yes, they've got similar horns, haven't they? That's why it's a Loki-ceratops, the dinosaur is. Loki-ceratops. There you go. Andy says, I finally got a bonus point. You might get another one in a minute because to celebrate the fact, let's just take that away and that away. To celebrate the fact we are episode 150, I've got another fun little question and Abby's going to ask you this one. So, yeah, you'll take it. I'm sure you will, Pete says. Okay, go on, Abby.
How many days would it take to binge watch all the 150 episodes of The Big Quiz Night In? A, 3, B, 6, C, 9, or D, 12?
Okay, so this is going all the way back to March 2020 when I first started doing these. And I worked out how long it would take in days, just on a rough estimate that every episode was a certain amount of time long, times in that by 150, and then working out how many days that was. So how many days could it be if you literally watched them all back to back to back to back to back, which I don't recommend you do, by the way, because you should
Get
probably
some sleep.
you should
Sleep
probably
is
sleep.
You should probably
Sleep is
sleep.
better than watching like 50 billion episodes of Big Quiz Night In. Although that would be good.
Is it 3? This is to the nearest day. It's obviously not exactly, but to the nearest day. Oh, sorry. Mate. Okay, so keep those guesses coming in. A, B, C, or D for another bonus point. Some guesses are coming
The
already.
problem is we don't know which ones are answered from the last question.
We do because this comment breaks it up there.
Oh.
So we're good.
Thank
You're all right.
you.
Because you're right. Otherwise, that would have been a problem.
Yeah, we'd
in
be
fact,
like, this person.
I remember in the early days of the quizzes when we were all locked down and therefore lots more people wanted to be watching along and playing along, the comments were very hard to keep track of because some comments were related to older ones and I got mixed up at times. So yes, I do remember that. Right, let's read them out then. So let's go through. So Andy's saying C, Catherine's saying 6, so that's B, Jodie's saying C, Millie is saying B, Martin's saying B as well, that's 6 days, Vernia C, Sue and the Donuts C, Catherine B, and Geraldine D. Right, okay. The answer for this one is, Ruben?
C.
It is 9.3 days worth of live
9
content.
days. So it would take you basically a week and a few more days
Yes, very
to
good.
watch the
Do not recommend.
entire Big Quiz
There you
Night
go.
In franchise.
No.
As someone who rarely ever
Is that
sleeps, get your
including
sleep.
shorts? Hold on.
Recommend.
Is that including shorts?
That is literally just the 150 episodes, not shorts. Right, okay, so who's got the points then? Ruben, you read these ones off then.
Andy.
Andy's gets a point.
Jodie.
Jodie gets a point.
Vernia.
Vernie gets a point. And then we go down again.
Sue.
Yep, the donuts. Sue gets a point. And that's it.
Good job for trying.
Andy says bonus points are like London buses. You wait ages for one and then two come along at once. Get in. Excellent stuff. Okay, well, the other thing, yeah, so we're going to move on then. Ruben, I thought I'd give you a special treat and let you press the button to move us on to the next scene now. So if you want to just press down here for me, yeah? No, literally press just there, yeah?
This one?
No, not that one. Wow!
Good old button trick.
Oh yes, yeah, that was obviously planned. So there you go. There's a little bit of a sneak preview for everybody. A little teaser trailer I'd thrown together for the new look Big Quiz Night In. This is the new official logo, and that was a little teaser to the intro that's going to be there for the new show in October. This is the kind of theme and direction it's all going. This logo, and if you remember in that clip you just saw, there was the blacked out one without the starry field background you got there. Both of those will be variants of my new logo, and I'm super happy with how they've come out. So yes, Millie says that was awesome. Sue says, wow, looks awesome. Great, I'm glad you like it. I've already made the intro. The intro is basically that last little bit you just saw with where the music was playing, basically that. I've also made a vertical version to share on TikTok and other platforms where you watch videos vertically rather than horizontally. And I've made another version for Instagram where it's squarer. So the image is all stretched and it's all pretty. I love it. So there you go, everybody. Just quickly through this last little screen together.
Rest in peace to this
The old style.
beautiful style of Big Quiz Night In. This has been the style for like 3 years in the making.
It has been.
No, a bit more.
Yeah. Well, I did take a break when we moved house. But yeah.
We just want to
Almost,
say thank you.
yeah. Thank you.
We got
Yeah.
this sign live on air. We got a new house. We got all sorts of these things. And I think you guys have been a big support for Dad.
Oh,
So
thank
can
you,
we all
mate.
say round of applause
Oh.
for Dad. Because he has made everyone happy.
Oh, mate, that's very kind
I'm
of
good at
you.
it.
Yes, checks in the mail. Thank you very much, mate. Oh, and thank you to you guys as well for supporting me doing all this too for everybody. I really appreciate it,
I'm
both
glad
of
I
you.
got to join.
You did, yeah. Well, you were awesome, both of you. All right. With that said, for the last time in Phase 3, for the 150th episode, time to say goodbye to the kids.
Goodbye.
And here is their outro.
Woo!
Wow, there we go. What an intro that was, eh? Thank you for that, guys. You got some extra points there. 2 points, in fact, with 2 different questions. That was a lot of fun. Enjoyed that. And that I honestly didn't tell Ruben to say those lovely things. That was very unexpected and lovely. Andy says, nice, looking forward to the new look. Yeah, well, you're going to see it in the pubs as well, because it means that all the stuff I put on screen at the pubs is all going to change to that style. I've already got that all worked out too. It's really cool. I really like that as well. So you'll see it there as well as here and on every bit of social media I do, because the whole thing's changing to that logo and that neon TV game show style. That's what I'm really going for with it. And it goes with this as well, you know, it all kind of works. Bernie says, looks very classy. Love it. Thank you. The explosion bit is ace. I know. I was so chuffed when I got that working. I really was worried about how I did the video intro, because that's with the unique logo rather than replacing text from an existing template. This was completely from scratch, and I really was concerned about how I would do it. And I just, yeah, long story short, I got it sorted, and I love that bit too. You honestly don't know what a difference the quiz has made to my life. Oh, Millie. Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it a lot. Bye, kids. Yes, bye, kids. Such lovely words you have indeed made our Tuesday nights more fun. Thank you, Ju. Good night to Abby and Rue. Yes, good night to them. Me too. A great quiz, meeting great people too. Yeah, we have. And the Patreon side as well. When we all do the video call at the end of each month, when we do that, that's good fun too. Lots more talking, I'm sure, throughout the show. Please keep the comments coming in. For now, though, we are going to crack on with the first round. You can see the different subjects here. It says entertainment, round number 1. Because most of this phase took place throughout last year into this year, round number 1 is an entertainment round from all of 2023 taken into consideration. So all forms of entertainment, not just TV and films, Andy. It is a little bit of everything that fell into 2023. Round number 2, a big quiz, is a general knowledge round where all the questions or answers have a connection to big, which is relevant not just because you're obviously watching Big Quiz Night In, but also because in the very, very first quiz I did on Facebook Live, Big Quiz Night In episode 1, that was one of the subjects. It is, in fact, the exact same quiz round. I don't think I need to change it or update it in any way. But I'm pretty sure none of you remember that episode, and there's only maybe one of you that might have been watching that one anyway that's here tonight. So I think enough time has passed, I can bring it back, and I thought it's a nice little nod to the very first episode, which was very, very different to what you've got now. And then we're going to do a USA round. I don't know if any of the American contingent are watching tonight, but it's a fun little trivia round, and quite topical as well, obviously, because there's another election coming up this time for them, and lots of things going on overseas there. So yeah, nice fun little round there about USA. And then we've got the game shows where we will do our survey says and catchphrase tonight. Right, with that said, 15 questions, 1 point for each correct answer unless otherwise stated. Here we go with question number 1, and don't put any more guesses in the chat. Question 1. In January of 2023, Marvel actor Jeremy Renner was run over by what type of vehicle? In January of 2023, the Marvel actor Jeremy Renner was run over by what type of vehicle? Thankfully, he's well and truly on the mend now and acting again. But, yeah, horrible situation that was, my goodness. No clues in case you didn't hear about it. Have a guess. What type of vehicle was it? Right, question number 2 now. Which pop star began her Eras tour and his Mathematics tour in 2023? Which pop stars began their Eras tour, her Eras tour, and his Mathematics tour, both started in 2023? That's 1 point for each, of course. Question 3. Who broke the record for the most Grammy Awards ever in 2023? Who broke the record for the most Grammy Awards ever? Question 4 now. Question 4. Who won the Oscars for Best Actor and Best Actress last year? Who won the Oscars for Best Actor and Best Actress last year? That will be another 2 points there if you can get that one right. Question number 5 now. Question 5. Which movie won the Oscar for Best Animated Feature last year? I'll give you a clue. It's a retelling of a movie that Disney also made famous. Which movie won the Oscar for Best Animated Feature last year? It's a retelling of a movie that Disney made famous. Question 6 now. Question 6. Which franchises released these 2023 movies? The Dial of Destiny, Dead Reckoning Part 1, and Dawn of the Nugget. Question 6. Which franchises released these 2023 movies? The Dial of Destiny, Dead Reckoning Part 1, and Dawn of the Nugget. Question 7 now. Question 7. Which TV host of For the Love of Dogs passed away in March last year? Which TV host of For the Love of Dogs passed away in March last year? Dead Reckoning sounds like my efforts in this round. Oh, Andy. Well, like I always say, every day's a school day. So you never know when this knowledge might come in handy if any of it sticks. Question 8 now. Question 8 for 3 points. Which 3 movies grossed the most money in the UK last year? You can put them in any order. But which 3 movies grossed the most money in the UK last year? Question number 9 now. Question 9. Which presenter left this morning after admitting an affair? Which presenter left this morning after admitting an affair? Right, question 10 is for 3 points. Remember, I can do repeats at the end of the round if you want me to. Question 10. Which 3 acts headlined the Pyramid Stage over Glastonbury weekend last year? Which 3 acts headlined the Pyramid Stage over Glastonbury weekend last year? They really messed up the festival this year. I wasn't there, but I saw all the highlights. And Avril Lavigne drew a bigger crowd on the second stage, whatever that's called, compared to whoever was on the main stage. I think it was SZA, something like that. And hardly anybody, relatively speaking, went to see her, and they all went to see Avril Lavigne, and that stage was absolutely packed. Everybody was saying, why on earth isn't she on the main stage over whoever they picked that nobody really seemed to care about in comparison to the two? But we're talking about 2023, so who were the 3 headlining acts on the Pyramid Stage last year? Question 11. Which band topped the UK charts with Now and Then in November 2023? Which band topped the UK charts with Now and Then in November 2023? Question 12 now. Who finished in the top 3 places on I'm a Celebrity for 2023? Who finished in the top 3 places on I'm a Celebrity 2023? Again, you don't have to put them in order. Just name who you think the top 3 are or were. Okay. Question 13 now. What were the names of the Hunger Games and the John Wick prequels that were released in 2023? What were the names of the Hunger Games and the John Wick prequels that were released in 2023? Question number 14 now. Question 14. Matty Edgell, Sammy Root, and Ginger Johnson won which popular reality TV competitions in the UK for 2023? 1 point for each. Matty Edgell, Sammy Root, and Ginger Johnson won which popular reality TV competitions in the UK in 2023? If you've never heard of any of those people, my advice to you is just guess 3 random reality TV show or competitions, because chances are you'll get at least 1 point. Chances are does not mean guaranteed, but yeah, it's definitely worth a guess. Okay, and question 15 now. Which celebrities finished in the top 3 positions in 2023 after the Strictly Come Dancing grand final? Which, again, don't worry about the order you put them in, but which celebrities finished in the top 3 positions in 2023 at the Strictly Come Dancing grand final? 1 point for each again. Right, if I ran through that a bit quickly or you want a bit more thinking time, ask me now for repeats of any questions in that round. The countdown conundrums there at the bottom again. You've got a little bit more time to work that out until I've gone through all the answers, and then I will reveal the answer for that. Those of you who think you're good at countdown conundrums, I will be very impressed if you get round 3's conundrum tonight. It's a word I had never even heard of, and I'll be very impressed to anybody else that gets it. Never heard of that word before in my life. I had to Google it to make sure the system wasn't throwing up a mistake of some description. It's like, no, that is an actual word, and there's what it means. Oh, okay. Yeah, the other two, standard really. But yeah, that third one, man, that's going to be a tricky one. Even if you figure it out, you might question, like I did, if it's even a word. There you go. Okay, do we have any requests for repeats of questions? Give you a little bit more thinking time. And I'll say, if you stick around at the end when we've finished, I'll play that little teaser again, and I will post it. Maybe not tonight, because it'll be too late to get any traction. I probably won't post it tonight. But tomorrow maybe I'll post it so that more people can see it and share it around and stuff. Okay, number 12. Martin's asked for number 12. Okay, number 12 was, who finished in the top 3 places on I'm a Celebrity 2023? Who finished in the top 3 places for I'm a Celebrity in 2023? Again, you don't have to put them in the right order. Just name who you think the top 3 were. And now I think I'll go through the answers. So let me know how many points you get. And if you have worked out the conundrum, when I reveal that, add 2 points on. If you really struggled, but you did get the points from the kids round, either or both, add them on to the score here as well if you want to. Or, of course, you can save them for round 2 or 3. So, question number 1. In January, Marvel actor Jeremy Renner was run over by a snowplow that he was driving. It's mad. Absolutely mad. Yeah, I'm sure you've heard the story, but you can Google it if not. He was run over by a snowplow that he was driving and jumped out for one reason or another, and yeah, awful. But snowplow's the answer. Question 2. The Eras Tour and the Mathematics Tour is Taylor Swift and Ed Sheeran. Question 3. The record for the most Grammy Awards ever was broken by Beyonce last year. Question 4. The Oscars for Best Actor and Best Actress went to Brendan Fraser and Michelle Yeoh. Question 5. The movie that won the Oscar for Best Animated Feature last year was Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio. It's a bit different from the Disney version, but inspired by the same story. Question 6. Which franchises released these 2023 movies? The Dial of Destiny, Dead Reckoning, and Dead Reckoning Part 1, I should stress, and Dawn of the Nugget. It is Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny, which was actually pretty good. It was a good end to the series, I think. Much better than the previous one. Dead Reckoning Part 1 was Mission Impossible, and Dawn of the Nugget was Chicken Run. Question 7. The host of For the Love of Dogs on TV that passed away in March was Paul O'Grady. Question 8. The 3 movies that grossed the most money in the UK last year. The first highest grossing movie was Barbie, then Oppenheimer, and then the Super Mario Brothers movie. 3 points in any order. Question 9. The presenter that left this morning after admitting an affair was Philip Schofield. Question 10. The 3 acts that headlined the Pyramid stage over Glastonbury weekend in 2023 were the Arctic Monkeys, Guns N' Roses, and Elton John. Question 11. The band that topped the UK charts with Now and Then in November was the Beatles. Question 12. Who finished in the top 3 places of I'm a Celebrity last year? Sam Thompson won. Second place was Tony Bellew. And third was some guy called Nigel Farage. I don't know who that is. Question 13. I wish we didn't know who that was. Question 13. What were the names of the Hunger Games and John Wick prequels that were released in 2023? It's The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. A Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes and The Continental for John Wick. I have not watched either of those films. I've not watched any Hunger Games films either. I maybe think I should at some point. But yeah, no, I've not seen them. Question 14. Matty Edgell, Sammy Root and Ginger Johnson won which popular reality TV competitions in the UK for 2023? It is Great British Bake Off, Love Island and RuPaul's Drag Race UK. Question 15. Which celebrities finished in the top 3 positions in 2023 after the Strictly Come Dancing Grand Final? It was Ellie Leach that won, and the runners-up were Leighton Williams and Bobby Brazier. Oh, I don't know who any of those people are. But those are the answers. Right, 1 point for each, of course, for that one. Now, the answer for the Countdown Conundrum is... procuring for 2 extra points. 1 point per kids question you got correct. You can add on at any time in these 3 rounds. 2 points for this particular Countdown Conundrum. Tally up the scores. Let me know. Let me know how many you got. And the question and answer for 14 was... Matty Edgell, Sammy Root and Ginger Johnson won which popular reality TV competitions in the UK for 2023? And it is Great British Bake Off, Love Island and RuPaul's Drag Race. That was 14, which you both asked for, Millie and Martin. Okay, Pete says if the questions were about 1983, I'd get more of them right. Why is that? I know, I agree with you that previous years I probably maybe 90 something or even 80 something I might get more right too. Why is that? I don't know. It's funny how our brains work, isn't it? You remember things that are further away, and everything that happened last year feels like it was last week, and even if then you might not remember it. Right, let's see some scores then. So Jodie says 8 plus the 2 points for the kids. Yeah, whack those on if you struggled with this round. Well done. Andy says, well, I got 7. I'm saving my hard-done bonus points for a more productive round. Yes, fair play. Millie says 13 for her and Mike. Very good. Oh, Sue says bad round for us. So had to use the kids' points, but got the conundrum. We got 15. Okay. 15.7. Yes, says 10 plus 2 for the conundrum plus the 2 for the kids. So 14 points there. We got 11. Catherine and Tony says we already forgotten 2023. Yeah. Geraldine 7 plus 1. Very good. Okay, well done. Any more for any more? Please do let me know. Even if we moved on to the next page, it's fine. 22 points for Let's Get Quizzical without the kids. Great effort there. All right, let's go to round 2 then. But again, keep those comments coming. Well, that reminds me, I need to get a new transition wipe as well for the new quiz. Otherwise, it'll be a wrong theme, won't it? Yeah. Right, you've got a new conundrum on screen again. So 2 points when you can work that one out, if you can work that one out. And the round itself is a big quiz. So as I mentioned at the top of the show there, all questions in this round have a big answer or a big question for you to tackle. Okay? So it's a general knowledge potluck round, but big is the theme. Here we go again. 15 more questions. 1 point for each, unless otherwise stated. Question 1. Which reality TV show was... I'm sorry, there's not going to be too much TV in this one, I promise, Andy. Which reality TV show was created by John DeMol in 1997? Which reality TV show was created by John DeMol in 1997? And it's actually one that wasn't mentioned in the last round. John de Mol. Question number 2. What is the name of the 8-foot-tall yellow bird from Sesame Street? What is the name of the 8-foot-tall yellow bird from Sesame Street? Question number 3 now for 3 points. Which American cities are known as the Big Apple, the Big Easy, and the biggest little city in the world? Which American cities are known as the Big Apple, the Big Easy, and the biggest little city in the world? 3 points, 1 point for each as always. Question 4 now. Question 4. What was the name of the gnome who featured in most of the Noddy stories? What was the name of the gnome who featured in most of the Noddy stories? Remember the theme of the round, is all I'm saying. What was the name of the gnome who featured in most of the Noddy stories? Okay, next question. Question 5. In which London landmarks can you find the UK's 3 biggest bells? In which London landmarks can you find the UK's 3 biggest bells? Okay, let's go to the next question then. Question number 6. Which pop acts had a UK hit single with the songs called Big Big World, Big River, and Big in Japan? Which pop acts had a UK hit single with the songs called Big Big World, Big River, and Big in Japan? Right, question number 7 now. The British astronomer Fred Hoyle coined which famous phrase? The British astronomer Fred Hoyle coined which famous phrase? Which is obviously related to his field of expertise. If you needed a clue. Martin, love the question about Noddy. That was my nickname at school. Oh, God. Not enough Noddy trivia in my quizzes. Gonna have to correct that, especially now I know that. I never had a nickname at school or ever. Never. No. Not growing up at all. Don't know. People tried to give me a nickname, but nothing ever stuck because it just didn't work. Right. So the next question then is question number 8. What are the full names of the 4 leading male characters in The Big Bang Theory? 1 point for each. What are the full names of the 4 leading male characters in The Big Bang Theory? So obviously 1 point for each. You must get the first name and the surname for the full point for each one. No half points. No half points will be awarded. It's hidden backwards. Though I suspect it was for another reason. Oh, I see. Oh, very good. I like it when a lot of thought's put into nicknames. I say a lot of thought. Some thought is put into nicknames, and there's good reasons for them. If it is connected to that, that's good. Yeah. There's some really funny ones that go around on TikTok. There's a Australian or New Zealand, I forget which where they're from, a news station that have their own TikTok, and they post funny clips of them chatting. And sometimes they'll do nicknames, and people write in and say their funny nickname stories. It's hilarious. Right, anyway, I digress. Question number 9. Which magazine was founded by John Bird and Gordon Roddick? Which magazine was founded by John Bird and Gordon Roddick? Question 10 now. Question 10. Which Disney animated film was the first to feature Marvel comic characters? Which Disney animated film was the first to feature Marvel comic characters? Okay, the next question then, question 11. In which movie does Jeff Bridges famously play the Dude? In which movie does Jeff Bridges famously play the Dude? Question 12. For 3 points, which authors wrote the best-selling books called The Big Sleep, Notes from a Big Country, and The Big Four? Which authors wrote the best-selling books called The Big Sleep, Notes from a Big Country, and The Big Four? Right. Next question then. Question 13. What is the name of the fortune-telling machine that makes Tom Hanks big? What is the name of the fortune-telling machine that makes Tom Hanks big? I absolutely loved that film growing up. It was absolutely brilliant. Bit weird looking back on it now in places. Bit weird. But still, it was good at the time. Question 14 for 3 points now. Question 14. Who played the title roles in the films called Big Daddy, Big Mama's House, and Little Big Man? Who played the title roles in the films called Big Daddy, Big Mama's House, and Little Big Man? 1 point for each. Okay, and your final questions on music for 3 more points. Which 3 acts have had a UK hit with the song called Big Yellow Taxi? It's a great song. Which 3 acts have had a UK hit with the song called Big Yellow Taxi? 1 point for each again. Remember, if the word big wasn't in the question, it will be in the answer. I can repeat any you like now. Please do let me know in the chat. You're running out of time as well to work out the conundrum. So do let me know if you would like any questions repeated. Gives everybody a bit more thinking time, of course, when you ask for those repeats. Of course, it's around about this time I remind everybody that, and it's more important this time than ever before, there is a link in my description of every video I post, and you can find it on the Facebook page in general as well, which will take you to all the other places where I provide quizzes, and therefore where I will continue to provide quiz content. Even though the Facebook Live show will be on hiatus until October, Lots of quiz stuff I'll still be posting elsewhere. Just no Facebook Lives until October comes around again. Okay, so if you need your fix for any quiz stuff, I'll still share stuff here as well, just obviously not the live shows. But please do consider following me on other apps, and that would be much appreciated. Lots more fun to be had there that you don't get in these shows. Right, 10, 12, and 14. Okay, Andy says, I've got a feeling I'll be using my bonus points on the USA round or the game show. You can't use them on the game shows. That's not how it works. Not in this game. But I know what you mean, mate. Okay, so Sue's asked for 10, 12, and 14. Let's repeat those for you. Question 10. Which Disney animated film was the first to feature Marvel comic characters? Question 12. Which authors wrote the best-selling books called The Big Sleep, Notes from a Big Country, and The Big Four? So 3 different authors, 1 point for each. Got another repeat there for number 7 from Martin. I'll do that in a moment. Question 14. Who played the title roles in the films called Big Daddy, Big Mama's House, and Little Big Man? Right, question 7 was the British astronomer Fred Hoyle coined which famous phrase? Okay, any more for any more? Last chance. I'll go through the answers then for this round. We'll do the answers for the conundrum for your 2 extra points, and then we move on to the USA round. Okay, here we go. Question number 1 then. Which reality TV show was created by John DeMol in 1997? It was Big Brother. Question 2. What's the name of the 8-foot-tall yellow bird from Sesame Street? That is Big Bird. Question 3. Which American cities are known as the Big Apple, the Big Easy, and the biggest little city in the world? Big Apple is New York City. The Big Easy is New Orleans. And the biggest little city in the world is called Reno. Question 4. What was the name of the gnome who featured in most of the Noddy stories? It's Big Ears. Question 5. In which London landmarks can you find the UK's 3 biggest bells? We have the Elizabeth Tower, which of course houses Big Ben. Because Big Ben is the bell, not the tower itself. Common misconception there. The Elizabeth Tower houses Big Ben, the bell. Then we've got St Paul's Cathedral, and the Olympic Stadium has the 3rd biggest bell. I don't know where, I've not seen it, but... Question 6. Which pop acts had a UK hit single with the songs called Big Big World, Big River, and Big in Japan? Right, so it is Emilia, Jimmy Nail, and Alphaville for 3 points. Question 7. The British astronomer Fred Hoyle coined which famous phrase? It's the Big Bang. Which then coincidentally leads us into question 8. What are the full names of the 4 leading male characters in The Big Bang Theory? It is Leonard Hofstadter, Sheldon Cooper, Raj Koothrappali, and Howard Wolowitz. If you manage to get all of their first names, then you can have 2 points. If you manage to get all of their first name and surnames, then you get 4 points. No other points awarded for any other combination, though. We don't do half points, but I will be generous at least at that, given the fact it's the last one of the phase, if you like. Question number 9. Which magazine was founded by John Bird and Gordon Roddick? That is Big Issue. Question 10. Which Disney animated film was the first to feature Marvel comic characters? It was Big Hero 6. Question, which is a really good film, actually. Question 11. In which film does Jeff Bridges famously play the Dude? It is The Big Lebowski. Question 12. The authors that wrote the best-selling books called The Big Sleep, Notes from a Big Country, and the Big Four are Raymond Chandler, Bill Bryson, and Agatha Christie. And question 13, what is the name of the fortune-telling machine that makes Tom Hanks big? It was called Zoltar. Question 14, who played the title roles in the films called Big Daddy, Big Mama's House, and Little Big Man? That is Adam Sandler, Martin Lawrence, and Dustin Hoffman. Finally, question 15 in this round. Which three acts had a UK hit with the song called Big Yellow Taxi? Joni Mitchell, Amy Grant, and Counting Crows. For 3 more points. Okay, the answer then for the Countdown Conundrum is Belittled. Let's see how many points you got then. Tally up those scores once more. And let me know how well you got on in that round. And then we move on to the USA quiz. Which, yeah, a bit topical. Been in the news a fair bit, haven't they, over there lately? For one reason or another, eh? Let's see how well you did, though, in this round. Thank you all for the positive emoji reactions on the video already. Really appreciate that. If you haven't done so already, do give the video a like or whatever kind of positive emoji reaction you would like to do, because it always helps out when you do, and I appreciate that. Here comes some of the team scores then. The Donuts have got 15 points. They got the Conundrum. Very good. 15 plus 2 for the Brazilians. Well done again. 13 points for Jodie. That's a good score there. 7 points for Millie and Mike. Well done. Oh, Kate's in the chat as well. 10 plus 2. Well done, Kate. Thanks for joining. Andy says, a slight improvement this time. 8 plus 2 for the Conundrum makes 10. Okay, good effort. Well, here's hoping you get more points in the next round. Again, keep those scores coming in. Let's see how many you got. Tony says 11 from the Not So Golden Oldies. Not our best round. Ooh. But let's get quizzical. Storming it tonight. 24 plus 2. We're doing all right today. You are doing okay, mate. Fantastic. You see, you should come along more often. You see. Geraldine says 12 plus 2. Very good. Yeah, lots of good scores tonight for this round. Especially for those with smaller teams. If it's you and maybe one other person, and you're doing all right there, that's great. And for those playing solo as well, all looking good. And hey, if you've got things wrong, well, every day's a school day. You're always learning, I think. So, with that said, let's go to round number 3 then. The final round of episode 150. For the last time this phase, let's see how you get on with round 3. Now, this is the toughie, I think. This is the tough one. One of, if not the toughest Countdown Conundrums I think I've ever put on here, because it's the first time, I think it's, if not the first time, one of 3 times at most, where I've looked at the word and gone, that's not a real word. And I've had to look it up and be like, oh, turns out it is. Andy's accusing Martin of writing the questions. Maybe. That's actually one excuse I don't see in the pub quizzes. Nobody says, they wrote the questions, that's why they're getting them all right. No. They just say, oh, they're using their phones. Maybe they're just good. Maybe they just happen to know those things, you know? Ever think about that? No. Oh dear. All right, so 15 more questions and this tricky Countdown Conundrum for 2 extra points. If you have got bonus points from the kids' questions at the start left over, if you haven't spent them yet, this is the last chance to do it. And for the last time in this phase of my quiz hosting life, for the last time, until October at least, let's go again with another round. Question number 1. How many stars are there on the Star Spangled Banner? How many stars are there on the Star-Spangled Banner? Question number 2. Which 3 US cities have the most skyscrapers? For 3 points, which 3 US cities have the most skyscrapers? Question 3 now. Question 3. The faces of 4 American presidents are carved into the rock of which mountain? The faces of 4 American presidents are carved into the rock of which mountain? Okay, question number 4 now. Question 4. What does the DC stand for in Washington, D.C.? What does the DC stand for in Washington, D.C.? That's for 2 points. Question 5. By total area, which is the largest state in the USA? By total area, which is the largest state in the USA? Okay, the next question, question number 6 now. Little Rock, Boston, and Columbus are the capitals of which US states? Little Rock, Boston, and Columbus are the capitals of which US states? Okay, question number 7 now. Question 7. Which 15th century sailor is said to have discovered the USA? Which 15th century sailor is said to have discovered the USA? It's a tricky phrase, that one, because he definitely didn't discover it, because it already existed and there were people living there when this person arrived. But to this person and to those who knew this person, I guess he discovered it for them. Yeah, it already existed. Right, which 15th century sailor is said to have discovered the USA? Or at least America. Question 8. Which 2 boroughs on Manhattan, or in Manhattan, begin with the same letter? Which 2 boroughs in Manhattan begin with the same letter? Question number 9 now. Question 9. Which president's face is on the $1 bill? Which president's face is on the $1 bill? Question 10 for 3 points. Which movie characters with places in their names were played on film by Miley Cyrus, Harrison Ford, and Mike Myers? Which movie characters with places in their names were played on film by Miley Cyrus, Harrison Ford, and Mike Myers? Right, question 11 now. Question 11. Was the American Declaration of Independence signed on the 4th of July 1766, the 4th of July 1776, or the 4th of July 1786? I'll put those choices in the chat. Was the American Declaration of Independence signed on the 4th of July 1766, 1776, or 1786? Question number 12 now. Question 12. What are the first names of the three most recent First Ladies of the USA? What are the first names of the three most recent First Ladies of the USA? Obviously, 1 point for each again. Right, question number 13 now. Who is the oldest person ever to be elected as President of the USA? Who is the oldest person ever to be elected as President of the USA? Okay, so the next question then is question 14 for 3 more points. Now, which UK hit singles by the Eagles, Katy Perry, and the Red Hot Chili Peppers mention California in their titles? Which UK hit singles by the Eagles, Katy Perry, and Red Hot Chili Peppers mention California in their titles? The next question. Question number 15 and the final question in the final round of the show before we get into our game shows rounds. Which four presidents of the United States of America were assassinated whilst in office? Which four presidents of the USA were assassinated whilst in office? 1 point for each. No points for near misses. 1 point for each that actually were. Let me know as well, of course, if you want any questions repeated. And then I'll do those for you. Just doing a bit of research to double check what I've got here. Yeah, I thought so. So for the music one on 14, there's 4 points available because one of them has had 2 chart hits with California mentioned. Technically. To make it into the top 40. Technically. My good friend Jan is in the chat here. Congratulations on the 150th episode, Chris. We are all super proud of your effort and grateful for the enjoyment you bring us hosting the show. Thank you very much. You're most welcome. Yeah, I am also melting in here, by the way. It's very warm in the office tonight. Sorry, in Big Quiz Night in studio tonight is very warm. But I'm very, very grateful for the nice feedback and kind words I've had throughout the evening. It's really, really nice to see. Right, 8 and 13 for Sue and the Donuts. Let's go through a couple of repeats then. Question 8 was, which two boroughs in Manhattan begin with the same letter? For 2 points. And question 13, who is the oldest person ever to be elected as President of the USA? Right, so I'm going to go through the answers now. So question number 1 then, how many stars are there on the Star-Spangled Banner? It is 50. Question 2, which 3 US cities have the most skyscrapers? That is, oh, hello. I'll just quickly say number 6. You've got until I get to it again. Question 6, Little Rock, Boston, and Columbus are the capitals of which US states? Okay, I'm going to go through the answers now, so you've not got long left to work that one out. So 50 is the answer to number 1. For question 2, the 3 US cities that have the most skyscrapers are New York, Chicago, and Miami. Question 3, the faces of 4 American presidents are carved into the rock of which mountain? It is Mount Rushmore. Question 4, what does the DC stand for in Washington, DC? It is District of Columbia. It wasn't until the movie Sleepless in Seattle was released that I learnt that Washington State is different to Washington, D.C. I have no shame admitting that because I couldn't have been the only one. I forget how young I was at the time, but when I watched that, I was like, wait, what? There's 2? Washington State is a very long way from Washington, D.C., all the way on the other side. I've never forgotten it from that moment. But yes, so Washington District of Columbia is the DC there. Question, I wonder how many others didn't know that and have just discovered that for the first time. Don't be shy. Question 5, maybe it's just me being silly. By total area, which is the largest state of the USA? That is Alaska. Question 6 for 3 points now. Little Rock, Boston, and Columbus are the capitals of which US states? It is Little Rock, Arkansas, Boston, Massachusetts, and Columbus, Ohio. Question 7, which 15th century sailor is said to have discovered the USA? That is Christopher Columbus. Question 8, which 2 boroughs in Manhattan begin with the same letter? It is the Bronx and Brooklyn. Question 9, which president's face is on the $1 bill? It is George Washington. Question 10, which movie characters with places in their names are played on film by Miley Cyrus, Harrison Ford, and Mike Myers? It is Hannah Montana for Miley Cyrus. Harrison Ford, of course, plays Indiana Jones, and Mike Myers played Austin Powers. I like that kind of question. Question 11, was the American Declaration of Independence signed on the 4th of July 1766, 76, or 86? The Declaration of Independence was signed on the 4th of July 1776. Question 12, what are the first names of the 3 most recent First Ladies of the USA? You have Jill Biden, Melania Trump, and Michelle Obama. Question 13, who is the oldest person ever to be elected as President of the USA? It is Joe Biden, who's interestingly stepping down from the race. Did you see this? Kamala Harris, she's going to be replacing him, apparently, potentially, most likely. Very interesting times over there. Question 14, which UK hit singles by the Eagles Katy Perry, and the Red Hot Chili Peppers mention California in the titles. The 3 official points: Hotel California for the Eagles, California Girls by Katy Perry, and Danny California by the Red Hot Chili Peppers. Although you can have a point if you also put Californication. The reason I say it's not as official as the others is because it's not exactly spelt California. It's Californication. But the word is still implied. So I would give a point for that as well. Also, it's a great song. So, Now, question 15 for 4 points. Which 4 presidents of the United States of America were assassinated whilst in office? This is Abraham Lincoln, James Garfield, William McKinley, and John F. Kennedy, JFK. So, tally up those scores then, and let's see how well you did. The answer to this very tricky countdown conundrum, again, maybe it's just me, but the answer is cotillion. Cotillion. I've never heard of that before in my life, never. But please do tell me if you worked it out. Maybe you worked it out and just hoped that was the word, but had never heard of it either. I think some of you maybe are like that, maybe. Anyway, thought that was interesting. So let's see how well you've done for the last time in phase 3. Feels like it's gone by quite quickly. Yeah, Jodie's never heard of it. Yeah, it's a very old-fashioned thing. From what I could tell, it was the word given to the etiquette lessons, like elocution kind of thing, where people would go of the higher society, higher class of people to learn how to properly behave. And yeah, it was called cotillion, different like posh dancing and yeah, all that kind of stuff. Which is probably why I never heard of it, because that is not me. Right, here come the scores then. Let's see how you got. Remember, this is the last time to use the bonus points from the kids' questions at the start, so make sure you've added those on. Donuts have got 23 points, no conundrum. 18 points for us. Well done to Millie and Mike, best score of the evening for them. Vernia says 22 points for us, the Britzillians, very good. Kate says 21 points, excellent work there. 27 points, good call to save the bonus points. Andy got 27 in total for this one, very good. Certainly makes up for all the horrible TV and film questions I put you through so far this evening. Tony says 22 points for that round for the not so golden oldies. Again, very good score. Geraldine says 18 plus 2. I know my Jane Austen. Oh, very good. Okay, yeah, that would make sense. And yeah, you worked out because of that. 18 points for me, but didn't get the conundrum. Yeah, I think a lot of us have learned a new word there. Not that I think we'll ever have reason to use it in a sentence other than, oh, guess what word I learned at the big quiz night in the other night. Maybe. 25 plus 1 for Let's Get Quizzical. Another okay round for us. There's very respectable scores you've had all evening, I think. Definitely, I think, highest points leader, if we were to tally these things up, of the evening. Very good. Well done. Okay, any more for any more, do let me know. We're going to move on to the next round, but of course the comments continue. So if you haven't put your scores in, you still can, even if we shift over to Our Survey Says. And the question is on screen already, so by all means just start throwing your guesses in. Remember, or also to advise anybody that's new watching tonight, this round and the next round we're going to do catchphrase. You are working together. Everybody watching right now, you are working together as a team to work out what the answers are to this question. The top answers from a survey of 100 people, genuine survey taken from the show. The new Susie Dent, yeah. Definitely not, but funny. Yeah, I appreciate that, Jodie. So yeah, start throwing in some guesses then. What is something that could break if you had a wild house party? I asked the kids this and they managed to work out basically all the answers. So yeah, they did good. Right, so let's see what we've got here then. So Sue and the Donuts straight away said TV. So is TV there? It's got to be, hasn't it? That is the top answer. Straight off the bat, we're away. Vernia says you could break a leg. You could do, I suppose, but it is not one of the top answers. We're looking for the top 7 for this survey question. Pete also said the TV, so you got that one. Very good. Millie says a window. You could break a window. All these guesses is making me think I'm never going to throw a house party ever again. Right, yeah. Windows number 6. Pete says a mirror. Is a mirror one of the answers? It is not there, I'm afraid. No. Okay, let's go on further on the list. Glasses. Yeah, there's a lot of glasses that'll be out and about at a party, surely. So this is going to be one of them, isn't it? That is number 3 on the list. Coffee table. Another guess from Pete. Coffee table. Lots of guesses from Pete here. And he does say, I was just about to say this, are you speaking from experience? And he's put a comment there saying, speaking from experience. Tables, number 5. Any kind of table. Martin says, my parents' willpower. That's not there, but probably should be. Andy also says TV there, and Jody says window. So yes, well done. You got those ones together. Right, let's scroll down. Relationships with the neighbours. Do you know, one of my birthdays, when I was late teens, I think. We got a complaint from environmental health the next day because I basically set up a disco karaoke rig in the garden in the village that I used to live in. Some of the neighbours weren't happy. I think the complaint may have come from a mile away. It's hilarious. Yeah, do not recommend doing that, really, although it was fun at the time. But of course, it's not actually one of the answers here. Yes, Jodie says glasses. Millie says a vase or vase. Vase or vase? That is vase number 4. Very good. A door. I could tell you a funny story about breaking a door. I told the kids earlier as well. Yeah, that was my memorable stag weekend. But is door there? No, it's not. Lamp. Okay, so Jan's gone with lamp. You could break a lamp, I'm sure, but is it one of the top answers? That's number 2. He's found one of the missing ones. Very good. A photo frame. Could that be there? No. Interesting guess. The banister. Oh, yeah, that would be a costly thing to replace, wouldn't it? The banister. Is that there? No. Glasses we've already had there. Glasses was the 3rd answer. Do yourself a mischief dancing. No. It was a pure accident. It was a pure accident. There was back doors open, there was a front door open at the same time, the wind rushed through and a glass door that separated the two slammed shut and the glass cracked all the way down and the whole thing apparently would have then needed, well, it would have, the whole thing needed to be replaced. Yeah, shocking. Wasn't even a drunken mistake. It's just somebody opened that door, somebody else had just opened that door. The door slammed shut, smashed it. Trust, the law, virginity, the stereo. No, these are all incorrect. They're not there. We're looking for some more kind of furniture. I'll give you a clue there. Not a fence. Something. Oh, you could have inside or outside. I just want to make sure I haven't missed somebody actually saying the answer because quite a few comments flew through there. No. No, we haven't. Some furniture you could have inside or outside, and it's not a table, it is a chair. Chairs, yes, very good. Vernia and Sue and the Donuts there are both saying chair, and that is the missing answer. So that's the last of our survey says questions. Yeah, not settee. Catherine says chair, very good. Some late comments coming in now. Good stuff. You got there in the end. All 7 answers correctly worked out. Geraldine as well says chair. Let's flick over now to the catchphrase round, our final game of the evening. Right, let me just bring the board back to its complete state. And I'll remind, well, I know there's going to be some people who don't know how this works, because it's all very confusing and slightly different, because obviously it's we have to incorporate some kind of quiz content to it. So essentially, behind this screen, there are genuine catchphrase clips playing, okay? I've got 3 different ones to play. I'll ask you a question, collectively in the chat, guess what you think the answer is. The moment I see it correct, I will remove a random square from the board. The random square chosen by the wheel. That way. Yeah, that way. And then you can guess straight away whatever you think it is. You can guess in the comments, okay? If you think you know what it is. And then I'll just keep asking questions, removing squares until you work it out. Then we'll reset the board and do the same for the other two. All right? So the questions are general knowledge, spread across 2 different subjects, I'd say, for this one. One subject will be connected to capital cities, the other will be connected to motoring. So we'll start off with capitals and I'll just kind of alternate and mix and match. So, your first one is, Oslo is the capital city of which nation? Have a guess in the chat. Oslo is the capital city of which nation? I know you're going to get this one pretty quickly, so I'm going to spin the wheel now. And we are going to be removing first square number 4. I can see Millie and Sue there have got Norway. Square number 4, let's take that away. This is a nice easy one, I think, for starters. I think. Yes, Norway. Martin's got it, Andy's got it, Catherine's got it. Well done. Nice and easy question to kick things off, and a nice, easy, I think, catchphrase. Which capital city in the world has the highest population? Bit trickier this time. Which capital city of the world has the highest population? Think about countries that already have very high populations and tell me one of those capital cities, and you might get it right. Martin has immediately said Moonwalk in the chat. I want you to keep answering that capital city question because we'll carry that over. Because yes, it is Moonwalk on 1 square. We got it. Well done. Let's have a quick look. Let's reveal the rest of the board. It is Moonwalk. I knew it would be too easy, but I thought it's such a fun one. Look at that. But yeah, keep the guesses coming in. So that one is Moonwalk. Let's reset the board. And the correct answer I can see has been guessed for picture number 2. This one's going to be a bit trickier, I think. All right. So let's spin the wheel and see. We only lost 1 square. Actually, no, I need to get rid of that. We need to do a new wheel so we don't lose the number. Right, so let's see. The answer for this one is Beijing. I can tell you that New Delhi and Tokyo were the other 2. And we're going to be removing number 4 again. Okay, so number 4. Oh. I want the sound effects on. I worked hard to get that working. There we go. There it is. Now, let's give shout-outs where they are required. So, Beijing. Jodie and Catherine said Beijing. It was Nicola that got it, Martin, not you. Okay, all right. Oh, well done, Nicola. Okay. That's very good of you to tell me that and to give the credit where it's due. Right, your next question. Have a guess at this one if you think you can work it out. I don't think it's possible for that one yet. Right, your question is, which car company issued the Mocha? Which car company issued the Mocha? I'm going to spin the wheel. And let's see which square we're removing. Which car company issued the Mocha? Have our guess. Number 2, we're going to be removing. Millie, Pete, and Martin have gone with Vauxhall. Anyone else hazarding a guess at that one? Yes, Sue saying Vauxhall as well. Kate saying Vauxhall. It is Vauxhall. Very good. So square number 2 we are taking away now. There we go. What's Mr. Chips doing? He's looking a bit sad, isn't he? I wonder what that could mean. Your next question. Which actor drove a car named Kit on TV? Which actor drove a car named Kit on TV? Spinning the wheel again. And we are going to be removing number 3 this time. But which actor drove a car called Kit on TV? The original, I'll say, because there was a brief reboot attempted of it, but don't bother watching that. It's not very good. Because you can't recapture the magic that is the Hoff. Exactly, it is David Hasselhoff. It looks like just about everybody got that one. Very good. Which one? 1, 2. Number 3 we're going to be removing. I missed that. Right, number 3. Right, your next question then is which car manufacturer displays the spirit of ecstasy? Which car manufacturer displays the spirit of ecstasy? Think very top end, expensive luxury cars. Hoff, not Hod. Yeah, the Hod. It's the Hod to his mates. Hasselhod. Yes, it is Rolls-Royce. Very good. Loads of you getting that one right as well. Okay, which one are we going to be removing this time? Yeah, just about all of you. Almost all of you. Saying Rolls-Royce in the chat, and it's number 9. Oh, that's not going to be massively helpful, I don't think. Let's see. Oh, maybe. Maybe it's, maybe we're on to something. Have a guess if you think you know the answer. The next question is... right. Derek Trotter owned 3 different cars throughout the duration of Only Fools and Horses. Name one of them. Derek Trotter owned 3 makes and models of motor car in Only Fools and Horses. Name one of them. So you need to get the make and model. And let's see if anybody makes the classic mistake. Because you all assume it's one thing, and it's not. Which will blow some minds, I'm sure. Let me go to the chat properly now and just have a look. Right, so we've got a Capri Gia, Reliant Robin, Reliant Robin, Reliant Robin, Reliant Robin, Reliant Robin, Reliant Robin. Any other guesses? Any other guesses? Yeah, it is. So, this is interesting. It's not a Reliant Robin. This is the mistake that many people make, and you're proving my point here, because everybody assumes it's a Reliant Robin. It's not. It's a Reliant Regal Supervan. So you need to say Reliant Regal to get that correct. However, he did also drive a Ford Capri Gia, which is G-H-I-A. But I won't mark you down for spelling because I know what you meant. But yeah, Reliant Robin's incorrect. So well done to Martin and or Nicola, whoever got Ford Capri Gia, because that is correct. And let's spin the wheel and see which square we're going to be removing. The other car was it number 5 we're going to be removing? A Rolls-Royce Silver Spirit he had at one point as well. Right, number 5 then. Number 5, this could be crucial. And it is, in fact, pretty good. What could it be? Why is Mr. Chips looking sad? Have a guess. Your next question. Let's go to capitals again. Which city is the capital of Australia? Which city is the capital of Australia? And I'll spin the wheel. And the next square to be removed will be number 7. The answer is Cambria, but I'm going to carry it over because many of you have now correctly guessed the answer for this one. It is always the bridesmaid, never the bride. Let's reveal the rest of the board for you now. And give credit where it's due. Sue and the Donuts, Geraldine, Martin and Nicola, and Catherine and Tony as well, said always the bridesmaid / never the bride. Very good. So, very good. That's good. That's that one done. Right, so let's reset the board again. And I'll bring up a new wheel as well. There's a new wheel. And now, your third and final one. This is it, everybody. This is the end of the show. The last thing I will ask of you in phase 3. This is the very last one. It's quite a fun one as well. I like this one in particular. Canberra was the correct answer for the capital of Australia. So what I'm going to do is I will spin and reveal the square now for that, and then we'll move on to the next question. Number 7. Let's have a look and see. Oh, put that back on. Here we go. Nothing there really, I don't think. Right, your next question then is, in which capital city could you find the airport named in honour of George Best? In which capital city could you find the airport named in honour of George Best? Oh, like butter wouldn't melt is good, but it's not right. Great guess, Millie. It's good, but it's not right. Belfast is the correct answer for that one. So shout out to, oh, it's not Teddy Bear's Picnic. Right, Pete, Kate, Martin, Catherine. It is Belfast, not Dublin. Belfast is the answer for that one. So let's spin the wheel again. Which square are we going to be removing from this one? Number 9. All right, number 9. Post is there. Not strictly related to the answer, but it's there. Okay, the next question then. Let's do similar. Which capital city could you find the airport named in honour of Indira Gandhi? Which capital city could you find an airport named in honour of Indira Gandhi? Have a guess. Let's see. It's not the bread and butter. Delhi is the correct answer. Let's remove a square for you and get back to your guesses as well. I see there's a few more that have flown by there. We're going to be removing number 4. Number 4. Oh, it's not showing the fun bit. It's not showing the actual thing that's going on. I mean, you'll get to see it in a moment anyway. Yes, back to the comments then. So well done there to Millie, you guessed Delhi, Pete, Kate, Tony, Martin, Sue, New Delhi. Yes, very good. Martin says hot knife through butter. He's only gone and got it bang on. Look at this. Here we go. It is a hot knife through butter, or like a hot knife through butter. I love that. Oh, very good. Right. So well done, team. You've worked it all out. And we bring ourselves to the end of episode 150. So, obviously it goes without saying, thank you all for your support, whether you've watched along for one episode or all 150 and everything in between. Every Tuesday night, that was Nicola again, well done. This show will be back in October. I will start ramping up the promotion and everything through September, so expect to see changes starting then. I need to, before I can officially launch everything and start changing things over, I need to make sure I have all the right size images to replace everything in all the social media places I'm on, which is obviously a lot. And some of them will work on multiple sites, and some of them need to be specially resized to fit. And I want to do kind of a big bang, going back to the previous quiz rounds, a big bang launch, so everything will start changing all on one day. And then you'll just go on one day and it'll all be the new logos and branding and everything. And then I'll build up to that first show, hopefully the first week in October. Hopefully it'll be all ready by then. I'm sure it will be, but I'm not going to commit to it just yet. October for now. Right, so final look at all your comments. I will leave you again with that little teaser I played you earlier, and then it'll be the outro video for the last time you'll ever see it, unless you rewatch a quiz for whatever reason. So I'll finish off like that, so there's a traditional ending to the quiz, but I will play the little teaser again so you can see it again. Right, last look at the comments then. I don't get these things, just the questions. That's it. Very good. See, I'm better at catchphrase than the actual questions, I find. Right. Pete says, as always, that was epic. Well done on 150 shows. Have a good holiday. Will do. Thank you. Thank you for brilliant quizzes always. Says Millie. Phase 3 has been awesome. Yeah, the biggest and best yet, definitely. Looking forward to the relaunch. Yeah, and for those who've recently discovered the quiz and what I do here, I'm so sorry it's coming to an end so soon, but for me it's been, you know, ages since I've had another break. So yeah, but I will still be posting elsewhere. Get yourself on TikTok and just follow me, all right? You don't have to follow anybody else. Don't lose your life to it, but get yourself on TikTok and follow me, because I'm posting there almost every day. So there's always a little quiz popping up here or there, and you can interact with me directly that way. With the comments there, so please do consider doing that. That's where most of my other content's being posted. Looking forward to the relaunch. We will miss you. Thank you 150 times. See you online in October, but before, for sure, at the pub. Yes, come to the pub quiz as well. That's carrying on. Patreon quiz is still next week. Patreon's next week, and in August, and in September. So sign up to Patreon as a free trial as well. You can join that in. We're going to miss you. Great quiz. Thank you so much, Chris. Nice that we came together as a family every Tuesday night for great quizzes. Yeah, it's been brilliant. So grateful for everything you do. Look forward to coming back in October. Yeah. And as I said before, yeah, and I'll see you at the pub. Thanks, Kate. Appreciate you joining in. As I said before, the format of what we do here won't really change much at all. We'll still do 15 question quiz rounds, and we'll still do the game show rounds, but as I said, whole new look and feel, and maybe some new stuff occasionally if I can work it out. But yeah, that's the important thing. It's all changing. Great. Okay. Andy says, thanks, Chris. Congrats on completing phase 3. Enjoy your break. Thanks, everyone, for your company. See you all soon. Lovely. All right. So yeah, that's it then, guys. I'm going to shoot off. Thank you again. I'll leave you with the teaser one more time, and then I will share it maybe tomorrow a bit more widely for a bit of fun and see what people think outside the show. So for the last time for now, yes, I've enjoyed you being part of this family too, Jodie. I hope to see you all next week at the Patreon quiz for those who can join me. And I will see you all at the same time next time for more of the same fun. Cheers. Good night.